It seems like no matter what you do out here, there's going to be 50 million other people, instead of supporting what you do, they're just going to try to emulate it. No, now we deal with that in production. There's, you know how they used to say, like, everywhere you go, there's another mixtape rapper.
Exactly.
Everywhere you go, there's a new photographer or a new videographer. You know what I'm saying? Shooting for $150 photo shoots. You feel me? It is what it is. When you are original and you have that genuine aura, people will soon filter out the rest, because there will be a difference in the experience that they have with you.
Welcome back to another episode of Attractive Mindset. And today's guest, this man, the aura, the energy, the vibe, from day one since I met through a mutual friend, and it's always been up since then. Super glad to have him on this podcast. This man is absolutely a legend in the making, already making rounds on his own, already got one of the biggest events in South Florida. And, just let me say something about that to begin with. In South Florida, the market is extremely saturated, extremely overcrowded. And to have one of the biggest events in a market like that has to say something about not only your work ethic, but your vibe, the vibe that you set. I'm going to let him tell you a little bit more about himself. We got Mr. Kodak Jacq.
Man, listen, it's an honor, man. I'm super excited to be out here. The edification, boy. Man, you set the table, bro. Listen, in all seriousness, man, it's a vibe to be here. To be honest, like, you meeting Rich blew my mind, because this guy is so humble, so chill, but he's an animal, bro, doing big things. So I'm honored to be here. Let's get it, man. Let's talk about life. Let's talk about getting money. Let's talk about art, creativity. You brought up a big point, though. Saturated market in South Florida. It seems like no matter what you do out here, there's going to be 50 million other people, instead of supporting what you do, they're just going to try to emulate it. No, now we deal with that in production. There's, how they used to say, like, everywhere you go, there's another mixtape rapper.
Exactly.
Everywhere you go, there's a new photographer or a new videographer. You know what I'm saying? Shooting for $150 photo shoots. You feel me? It is what it is. And with our businesses, with things like events, whether it's, I don't know, you could choose a market. There's always seems to be more emulation than, support. Now, I don't know what to do necessarily to change that, but what I will say is that you just need to be true to who you are, because the truth is, when you are original and you have that genuine aura, people will soon filter out the rest, because there will be a difference in the experience that they have with you. And when you continuously give people a different experience, you just got to be strong and get through it. Because they fall off. They really do, bro. It's amazing how many different people I've seen just fall off because they weren't real. They was just trying to be you.
Exactly.
And nobody can do that.
To contrary belief, I do tell people all the time, if you want to make a business, create the business. Even in the saturated market, even in the saturated stuff. When people said, hey, you get into production? Oh, out here, it's crazy. This is flooded. A lot of people doing this and that. The one thing that you have to always remember is nobody is you. And so at the end of the day, when you have something like that, you got to imagine, like, think about colognes. You think about colognes. If, 10 years ago, Tommy Hilfiger was running the game with the colognes,
right,
and Calvin Klein, if we had just stuck to those two, all these other brands that came out with colognes wouldn't have been able to do anything because of them taking over the market at the time. And so you have to always put yourself in position to think about that when it comes to anything that you do, whether it's events, whether it's production, whether it's business. What do you have to offer to that market? And meeting you, we work with a lot of people. We have a lot of different contractors where we are actually contracted to almost all the events in South Florida. We work with Social Exchange. We work with Lee Entertainment. We work with Jazz in the Gardens people. We work with Afroco. We work with Swarm. We work with all of them, and we have actual contracts with them. And I would say, we don't necessarily work with you guys, but even just being in you guys' event, being in you guys' venue, being in you guys' presence, you definitely bring something that I haven't even seen in any of these other people that I actively do work with. And that says something by itself, because I'm super receptive to people, but I'm not friendly, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get it.
And I'm super quiet. And the fact that we can just chop it up and I'm like, yo, you know, hey, let's do it. Let's meet, let's link, let's do that. That sets a testament to you and your business. And so let's go into your business a little bit.
Let's
you know,
talk.
just tell me a little bit about what made you even want to get into. Let's start off with production.
Okay, production. So my background, you know, I'm Haitian American. My father has been in the radio business his whole life. My dad actually started working when he was 15 years old, and in Haiti, and he worked for something called Radio Metropole, and immigrated to Haiti. I mean, America when I was young, and you know, I was born here, but like he came later. I was actually born here. My mom, they had to do. You know, I don't know if you know much about how that works. Like sometimes you gotta kind of like one person can go and then the other. All right, cool. So you understand that. So the reason I'm telling you this though is that I grew up in a broadcasting household, and it was very demanding. He had to be on the radio every day, and when I went to school, when I went to college, I was trying to figure myself out. Originally, I went in for criminal justice, and I was taking my classes, I was doing what I was doing, but I don't know, something kept telling me, you know, switch my major, and I finished it, and I ended up getting a degree in broadcasting. Now, when I came back, you know, started working with my pops. He works in Haitian radio, doing talk radio. We created a show called The Bridge. And the whole purpose of The Bridge was to bridge the gap between the generations. And it became a very inspirational thing. A lot of people got involved with that. We helped politicians. We were one of the first people to report about the earthquake in 2010. You know, we had a lot of stuff that was like happening that we were always talking about, whether it was elections, whether it was local elections, whether it was, you know, social issues within families and so on and so forth. So I had a lot of training and built a lot of connections through that. So now I'm back in school doing some more stuff. Now I start doing events. I'm doing events. I did a party called Kiss and Tell, and it was a Haitian American party that was amazing. I worked with a group called Wall Street Group. A lot of people you might even see today doing big things were a part of this organization. I ain't gonna say anything. I ain't gonna put them out. I'll just say that there's people right now that are doing phenomenally well in life, and I'm so happy for them. And we used to just link up and have meetings and talk about Haitian parties, and it was like, it's crazy to see how much we grew. But from that event, and me and my best friend at the time, well, he's not here with us anymore, so he's still my best friend. He just ain't with me no more. My boy Cash. You remind me a lot of him, by the way. Yeah, there's an energy there. But no, Cash and I were looking to do something different. So when we started to do something, we were looking into trends and things that we felt like would be big. And this is in 2015. We were feeling this way. And part of us just felt like, you know what we like to do that a lot of our friends don't like to do? We like go to brunch. We like go to brunch. So we started researching like brunch in general, like the concept, and we created this event. Now, mind you, while I'm creating this event with my brother Cash, and we're dealing with Kiss and Tell, I'm learning about production because I'm dealing with. I was dating a model at the time, so there was like going on her shoots and seeing all the stuff. I was like amazed by some of the stuff these photographers are doing and video shoots. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. But you know, I'm the boyfriend, so I'm just playing my position. I got a hot party. They always want to talk to me about the party, what celebrities I know, all this stupid stuff. You know, oh, can you hook me up with this? I was always the guy that could get the girls to come to these shoots. You know, oh, call Chris, man. Chris got this girl. Chris got that girl because of the party, right? And so, mind you, they're talking about all this stuff. I'm helping, I'm receptive, but I'm always literally watching. I'm seeing what kind of cameras they use. I'm seeing what kind of lighting they use. And I'm not talking about it really. Like, I'm not asking them too many questions because, again, I'm the boyfriend and I don't want to disrupt their flow. They're working.
Yeah.
But I'm really watching. And I'm using my phone. Back then, I was always the one that take the friends pictures. Like if we're in a group of friends somewhere, I'm the one to take the picture because it's going to come out right. So fast forward, we're doing these events and we're spending a lot of money on photography or videography per se. It was really a video that made me like broke the camel's back. You know, like it was really waiting for a video. But anyways, one day got fed up. I needed something for a charity event or community-based event that we're doing called Table Talks. This is in Wynwood. This is while we already have the brunch going on. We have other stuff. I'm doing multiple events, comedy shows, left and right. We're doing a lot of stuff. But I want to do something for the community called Table Talks, which took what I was doing with the bridge growing up with my dad and brought it into more of like having these social dialogues we have on the internet, the stuff that you see people do all the way in the comment sections.
Yeah.
We wanted to take it off the comment section and bring it face to face with one another. We felt like people wasn't going to talk to people the same way if they had to look at them in the eyes and actually had that conversation. So we had this thing called Table Talks, and it was all about bringing in, you know, experts on multiple different various like things like health and wellness, you know, political science, community activism, and we just brought people in, right? Dope people in the community, gave them a few minutes to kind of do their little spiel, their 5 minutes thing, and then boom, opened it up and had everybody just kind of town hall vibe to it. It was an event too. You were getting drinks, there's food, it's a vibe, and it was called Table Talks. And we wanted to do promo for that. So we had somebody shoot this dope commercial for us. Table Talks, we did everything the right way. We shot the commercial 2.5 months before the event. I got the commercial 48 hours before the event.
Ooh.
So what I did was I had good credit at the time. I applied for a Best Buy credit card. I went to Best Buy. I asked them what intermediate camera can I get that's good for video and for photography. I bought a Canon 80D and I shot the party. After that, I did stuff with my mom. I did stuff with a few other people. I started shooting stuff. Was very self-conscious about anything I shot because, I grew up knowing the ones that are the dope artists out here that were really doing their thing. I didn't think my stuff was even close. Finally, I got over it, started posting some of the stuff I was doing, and people liked it. People actually showed a lot of love. People started booking me, and I'm like confused. I don't even know how to price this. I'm unaware of any like that aspect of the business because I was always just there on set. Like I didn't know the private conversations, and it wasn't until like mid 2018 till I ended up getting like a mentor. I ended up traveling a little bit. I went and took a landscape photography course in San Francisco. I did a few other things to kind of like sharpen myself. I started reading a ton of books in regards to the proper way to utilize light, how to understand light, YouTube left and right. I don't even know how many hours. I started studying the greats. I started learning about who's who in both fields. Now, a lot of people say that it's not really the best to try to like be a photographer and a videographer or cinematographer. They say it's difficult to actually really master both. I really spent a lot of energy trying to really be good at both. And what ended up happening was I did have a mentor for cinematography and videography, and I did kind of self-teach myself for photography. I got involved with a couple of studios where there were some other dope photographers, iron sharpened iron. I study people that have been doing it, like the Ansel Adams, the Annie Leibovitz, the like these people. Like I study that because that's the style that I appreciated. But then on the same token, when it comes to directors and which production companies are doing what, I started studying that as well. I got myself involved with a lot of dope people. And I mean, I don't know, man, it really just kind of developed into its own. And I made sure that whenever I was somewhere, learning or working, that not only did I not cuff what I knew, like I wasn't trying to like be one of those people like, yo, this is my trade secrets, you don't get to. No, I was very like, if I saw a need where I could help somebody, even with the limited knowledge that I had at the time, I would do it. And in return, a lot of those people reciprocated. And I always left everything that I did with some new thing that I didn't understand. Something as simple as turning your flash backwards for softer light at an event. So just in case you're getting too much harsh light. That was from another photographer at a rooftop Sundays. That was an event that was down there. And he was just like, yeah, just do this. And I was like, fam, you just blew my head up. Another thing, using a strobe, it was dark. I didn't have a mirrorless camera. I'm looking at the viewfinder. It's pitch black. He's like, yeah, man, you got to make sure it's dark. Just leave the settings here. It's going to look dark. It's not going to look right until you push it. You push it and then boom, it was crispy. And I'm like, wow, how did you know that? He's like, it's just practice. You just kind of figure these things out. This was because when these people had questions or these people were stuck somewhere, I had no issues telling them what I knew. You brought up a point about being original and like being yourself. I just feel like, when you're the well, you never run dry. So like if the ideas are coming from you, if the concepts are coming from you, if the originality is coming from you, it doesn't matter how many people copy you, because they have to wait for you to do something else in order to make their next move. Their move wasn't theirs. Exactly. So they can't make another one. How they gonna make another one? If they could make another one, they would have made the first one. So if you're the one that comes with the moves, they gotta wait for you to move again until they can make theirs.
100%. And that's a testament to even if things don't necessarily go correctly. I have a friend who definitely going through things in their business currently, and me being a business coach, but also being their friend, I'm like, yo, who cares about that business? You created it. And it got to where you were doing 150 to almost 200,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? I said, you are the catalyst for that. You being the catalyst for that, create something else. Who cares what's going on with that one?
Right.
Fuck it. Start over and do whatever you got to do. And that comes to just that level of consistency, but also the personality. People will buy into you before they buy into whatever you're trying to sell.
Yeah.
And I get that vibe from you. Yeah. You don't even got to sell me anything. Just the essence that you provide, how you are naturally, is how whatever you are selling, which, what I have been to your events, is going to feel. And that's what sets precedence. And I feel like that's definitely, being a business coach, analyzing what you have, you are putting your own attraction into that business. And that level of attraction is what's attracting.
That's dope. No, a lot of people say that they make fun of me. They call me the jack of all trades, but they say it with like my last name. And so it's crazy because I do always pick up everything, but it goes back to like why, kind of like how you do your business. You want to know all the angles of the business, not necessarily because you want to do everything, but you want to know when you hire someone, you want to know that they're doing their job. You want to know that they're doing things to the best of their ability. So I taught myself how to DJ. I taught myself how to do, take pictures. I taught myself how to cut and edit videos. And I did that so I could understand what I was paying for, because sometimes I would pay for something and I would be so unsatisfied that I would be like, damn, like, but I got to pay them because they already did it. But it's like, this isn't working out. I'd rather invest into something, pay once, and then have being able to do this over and over again. And so a lot of times when people see how I operate or I deal with my businesses, it's almost like they think it's like over strategic. No, I think it's more of the fact that when you're genuine, you don't have to do a lot of extra work. Like, it's really hard to keep up appearances. It's really hard to keep up a facade. What's really easy is waking up in the morning and just being you. And once you're at ease with being you to the fullest, and you being you, like if you love you, you'll never have an issue being you. It's when you don't love yourself fully, and it's tough, because what I mean by that is that even the stuff you don't like, you can still love. We understand that, right?
Exactly.
We have people in our lives that we may not be happy with right now, but we love them, right? It's the same thing with yourself. Like, there's going to be elements of yourself that you may not, that you need improvement in, but you got to still love that to some degree, because part of that struggle or part of that issue or part of those problems kind of shaped your worldview, shaped how you are. And if you are even just slightly bit successful, you're already doing better than 90% of the world right now. Because the fact of the matter is, a lot of people are struggling.
100%. And we're going into another recession.
You get what I'm saying? And I feel like we tend to want to be, we all want to be Jay-Z, Beyonce. We want to be. I get it. But please understand that who you are matters to so many people that you may not even know. You may not know how much, but I dealing with loss, seeing some of my friends pass and seeing some of the impacts that they had in just their short time here on this earth really set things into perspective, because there's people that I was close to on a daily basis that I didn't know impacted so many people until it was too late. That's when I realized, like, wow, this dude that was just my dog. We go to LA Fitness, we hoop, we just hang out, whatever. My boys just at my house, I'm at his house. To the world was this thing. To me, it was my boy. And so I started to look at people differently. I started to look at those around me differently and started to say that, you know what, I'm not going to downplay who you are. I don't have to do that just to be around you. I don't have to belittle who you are, even if it's not on purpose, even if it's something that's subconscious. I'm going to give you your flowers. I'm going to big you up. It's not gassing. I don't need anything from you. I'm just letting you know that I see you. You're seen. You're putting effort into this realm. You're making big moves. You know what? I'm proud of you. You know, if I see a way that I could collaborate with you for us to make more and for us to be even bigger than we currently are, I'm all for that. That's what I'm on. And I feel like that has blessed me. And because I move that way, when I meet other genuine people, it's very easy to just kind of network and link with those people, because I'm studied, I learn. I'm not a phony when it comes to what I'm doing. So, you know, you put me in a position where it's like, you got to test me, be fine. Whereas certain people, they lie on their resume. Then when you put them in that position, you find out the truth. And now you just out here, everybody out here looking crazy. Like, damn, what part of that did I fall for? Sometimes what it is, and you're gonna laugh when I say this because you probably already know all this. I've learned, and this actually I learned during COVID, during 2020. So there's no need to over announce like what you're looking for, because the truth is, when you put it out too much, like exactly what you're looking for, the wrong type of people will know how to disguise. So it's kind of like, you know how to say, like a wolf in sheep's clothing. Mm-hmm. A lot of people broadcast like, I want a girl that look like this, I want a guy that this, I want this, I want that. And what happens is, people that know they can take advantage of you will just be exactly what you've been wanting, or at least seem like it. And it isn't until you're already invested, it isn't until you're already knee deep, that you come to realize that they really weren't what you wanted. They were just playing that role.
Exactly.
In business, that happens a lot. In business, you'll put like ads out for help, and you're looking for people to hire, or whatever it may be, or whether it's people to collaborate, and you'll put out all this energy in regards to trying to describe what you're looking for. You know, you'll put a post out or you'll put ads out, and people will apply, and everyone will say the right things, and it'll just be an abundance of people just trying to like shaping themselves to be exactly what you want. And then once you ask of them what you really need, a lot of them will fall short. But the people who tend to not fall short are the people that when you don't even necessarily put that out there, but you internalize it, you focus on that aspect of things. Mm-hmm. You try to even learn it yourself. So now you're putting yourself in spaces where there's probably people that do know how to do these things that you're trying to do. You end up meeting them. And then you end up finding that exact person that aligns with not just your vision and your mindset, but like is even a pleasure to be around. Sometimes it's personalities too. Like I know people that got all the skills, but like they're dicks. That got all the skills, they just rude as fuck. Like I don't want that. Exactly. You know, it's almost like the trade-off ain't enough. And so that's what I've learned. I've learned to be a little more quiet. I've learned to be a little bit more reserved. I've learned to be a little more patient. I talk about things that I feel like matter more now. If you follow my page, you'll see that I'll talk about politics. I'll talk about, you know, racial issues. I'll talk about these things instead of being weird about it. Oh, you're going to alienate a certain population. Someone might not book you for a photo shoot because you talked about that. I was like, well, I mean, if someone has an issue with something like critical race theory, I actually don't want to work for them.
Facts.
You feel me? Like, I don't care if they're, like, and I've learned to move that way differently. And it's blessed me because there are the people that do book me and put me in the rooms that I want to be in. Some of them say, yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie, dog, that one post was dope, or that one thing that you said was dope. And meanwhile, I'm here to take pictures, but they want to make sure to let me know that that person that I am is who they actually appreciate. And that's why they chose me over the next guy.
So I'm gonna give you guys, a free gem. He's about to get the free gems out of me for y'all. It's usually in my course, but I'm gonna give it to y'all anyway. So you have your TA versus your TAP. And so that's your target audience versus your target audience personnel. And this is what I tell people all the time. When you learn how to separate the two, your money 10x's. And so a lot of businesses that I deal with a lot of businesses, I deal with a lot of people. If y'all make it to this part in this podcast, I'm telling you, write this down because this is game that you're going to only get from a business coach. It may not be me, maybe somebody else, who knows, but this is game that you pay for. TA versus TAP. And so with the target audience, you have your broad category. Who's your target audience, you would say, for your event?
BB Sundays. I would say entrepreneurial people of color with expendable income looking for a release on a Sunday, looking for a break from the monotony of the work week, like looking for a chance to just be free in a judgment-free zone, eat good, listen to the music that they actually like, that they can't listen at work, can't vibe, and people that just want to vibe and be themselves. That's why you'll see all different types of people there, from professional athletes to, people that just turned 21. You feel me? Like, you'll see them all there, because when you're there, it don't matter. You Dalvin Cook, that's what's up, man. Welcome. The table's right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's whatever. It's just the way it is. And that's the audience. The audience is people with you do have to have some money to come to BB Sundays. You know that. We're definitely not the free party. No, and we don't want to be. We're afraid of the free party. Free party comes with something else. But so we would definitely want you to have some money, but it's more about being people that have stuff that they go through that need that release.
Okay.
On a weekly basis, like, need to be able to just and still make it back to work on Monday. So that's why we do it from 11 to 7. We feel like, dang, you can have that full on experience and rest and be good. And the reason we needed that was because we needed that as entrepreneurs, as people that were doing businesses at the time. We didn't have a place we could go to get that level of an experience without being up till 6 o'clock in the morning. So we needed to make something that we could actually attend and enjoy and spend money at and have fun with people, meet women, just like, we wanted to do that. So we created it as opposed to searching for it.
Got it.
But
now, what would you say about like age group?
Age group, okay, 20. I say we cater to 25 to 50.
Okay,
25 to 50. So that's what we cater to. The younger it comes, but we generally feel like someone about 25 or so start to be able to afford it.
Okay, and so recap again real quick on, you said the entrepreneurial
people. We're open to everybody, but if you want to know, it's catered to people of color who are entrepreneurial. I put entrepreneurial just because, like, even though everyone from work comes, we like the people who have somewhat of like disposable income, legal disposable income, expendable income. They can keep you, because obviously, we know who else has, disposable income. But we cater to them because I don't know, man. We just like bosses.
Okay.
We do. Don't get me wrong, workers is dope too, but
ain't nothing wrong with that.
We like bosses. And so that, and then ironically, when my partner, if you ask my partners, they'll tell you that, we cater to a lot of like Black women. We do, but that's because they also now are fitting into that particular, all the boxes I just gave you. They're checking them like crazy now. You get what I'm saying? Like, they're starting businesses, they're college educated, they're They have disposable income. They're looking for spaces that cater to them and the type of food and type of music that they enjoy. So you can say that, but again, I'm gonna go back and say my main point was I just wanted to make a place I could go to. Mm-hmm. So what I'm describing is me. Mm-hmm. What I'm describing is my partner. Mm-hmm. So I'm my demographic. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't make something for someone else. I made it for me, and I just hoped that other people would like it. And that's what happened.
Got you. Okay. So y'all heard what he said. His target audience, Black people, entrepreneurial, mostly catered toward bosses. It's open to everybody, but ages of 25 to 50, right? And so that's what you would call a target audience. It's good to know your target audience, but good is the enemy of
great.
And so greatness comes in the form of TAP. TAP is target audience personnel. So now when you have your target audience personnel, we'll pinpoint that when it comes to specifics. We'll pinpoint that. And so somebody like me would sit with you and be like, okay, cool. That's your target audience. Now, when it comes to the realm of marketing and advertising, people confuse these things a lot. I just had a class on it the other day. If you missed it, I got another one coming up soon. And so marketing itself is research and data. People think marketing is advertising. Advertising is content creation and actually putting things out there for people to see your stuff. And so when you market effectively, target audience goes into market. Advertising will go into TAP. And so with that TAP, somebody like me would say, okay, cool. Let's target the 30-year-olds in Miami or in Fort Lauderdale that work at blank or blank or blank. So now we just made it super specific because guess what? For us to go market, to go find the audiences that those people are in are a lot more concise. And so when I'm advertising, I'm not just broadly putting it out. And that's what you do when you convert a lot of sales. We had a free class the other day. Y'all can't see him. Dan's behind the camera, of course. But we had a free class the other day. This is a free class now. I told people before they came to the class, I said, hey, it's a free class. But I told Dan, I said, I guarantee you I'm going to make money off of this class. And so having those call to actions, once you have your TAP set, I knew exactly the type of people that were coming. So I knew exactly what to provide. You always end up selling something, whether you want to call it a sale, whether you want to call it provide, made $3,500 from that class that was free. And people still didn't show up. You want to account for that, at the same time. And so if we were to do that for an event like yours on a broader scale like that, I know instantly you'll break numbers. That's when you go about it in the numbers type of way. And not a lot of people look at the business in that sense, not because they don't want to, but just because things are going great or things are going good. And good is the enemy of great. Mm-hmm. Me going to your event, there's definitely things that I see and I love it already, but there's definitely things that I see that I'm like, if they did this, you'd be through the roof. You'd be on, I know you guys made it on Shade Room, but you guys would be on World Star. You'd be in Forbes. You'd be in other things like that because that's the level of reach that you have the ability to do because of the people that are running it. Average people cannot do those type of things. And because you guys are in place to do that, you 100% have the level and the people that are there at your event. Even when I was there, I saw 3 other people. I want to say you didn't speak to them because they were super low key as well. Millionaires.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just in the crowd.
No, chilling. You got to remember that's I want millionaires to hang out and not be approached, not be accosted, not be bothered. You get what I'm saying? Like I want it to be a safe haven, safe space for people of that caliber to come and just kind of get their vibe in. Because sometimes they have to spend so much or they have to go somewhere and do so much just to get that equal amount of a vibe. Whereas with us, you buy a couple bottles, get your section, vibe, do what you need to do, go eat, so on and so forth. You don't gotta tell people who you are. They don't gotta know. If they don't know, they don't know. And even if they do know, they know that at BB Sundays, you'd look very weird being overly aggressive and being wild about that because that's not the temperature of the event. It's not meant to be that. Where and I'm real big on that. Like I don't want people to bother my guests. And if you're in the building and I don't care if you're a millionaire or you're not, doesn't matter. I don't want people all in your face bothering you. I want you to be able to vibe. Now, if you want to, engage in such and such, by all means, that's your business. But Once it gets annoying, just let us know
Mhm.
because we will handle that.
Of course.
It's not the play there.
Of course.
So, you know, I'm with you on that. And
I mentioned that part.
And I'm also with you on the fact that there are, I don't want you to think that the big three alliance, which is me, Don, and Dukes, that we're complacent by any means.
Oh, no, of course not.
Where this is not where we envision it at all yet. And
Mhm.
so you were right. Good is the enemy of great. And we have those conversations daily. There are things that happen with our business, the smallest, minute little things that drive me crazy. And I'm blessed to be able to have partners that allow me to vent, because I probably sound like a nag. I probably sound like so annoying to them because of the how little certain things can get. Like,
those are the ones that care the most.
Yeah, that drives me crazy. So I want you to understand that you saying something like that, like, is music to my ears, because I know, for example, this is something that we created in 2016. This is something that we've cultivated, you know, and constantly made adjustments to, moved multiple venues. We've had to go through growing pains. We had to survive COVID. You know, like, there's a lot that's happened here that's kind of created this brotherhood. And I want people to understand that, like, we're learning still. And there's another level, but just like they say, new level, new devil. And so we know that, but we always looking for people that might know a little bit better or might have advice and that we can put into instant application. The only thing that we don't do with people is that sometimes people just give kind of blanket statements, and sometimes people just like, you should do this, you should do that, you should do this, you should do that, and they tell us a lot of things that we should do, not realizing that the stuff that they're suggesting, not only do we do it, or have we thought about it, or such and such, that we've been doing it and you just didn't notice, and you got here today and now you're telling us how we run this business, but we've been doing this business for 7 years. So I always kind of tell people, like, you know what, when making a suggestion for Big Three or BB Sundays or anything like that, I always tell them, I was like, ask us if we tried it first. Always just ask us, because we might have tried it. The minute you tell us something we ain't never tried before, guess what's gonna happen? We're gonna perk up, get excited, and you're gonna have our utmost attention. But sometimes people, hey man, you should get more security, or you need more hostesses, and you need different bottle girls. And I'm like, I was like, yo, if you got them, send them this way, bro. Like, I put out ads for the last 6 months, man. I've been looking. What you think you think you can see what's wrong with this, and I can't? Like, you think I'm oblivious to my own baby that I take care of from birth? That you think I'm oblivious? You know, it is what it is, though. But whenever someone means well, it's all good. So we don't get offended, but it is funny, because we do have people that kind of come at us like that. And we're like,
oh yeah, that's every business, you know, even to the constraints of what I do. You know, I have people come in that paid me to hire me that try to tell me exactly what I'm telling them. And I said, okay, nah, you want to do it that way? Let's do it. Because then we start to play ball. And then we start to, okay, cool. Yeah, your hour's up. You got to pay me again now to tell you what I was going to tell you the first time.
Right. Sometimes you got to make them learn. You got to make them feel it. I'm big on that too. Because I used to try to, like, no, this is wrong. I used to course correct a lot. But then as you get older, you start dealing with more and more people who are kind of stuck in their ways. And it's unfortunate, but sometimes you have to let people fall on their sword. And then, you know, when they get cut, that's when they're going to come back and be like, hey, man, you were trying to tell me about this? I ain't listening. My bad. I hate the my bads, because, like, low key, like, when you start getting booked and busy, they might not have time, like, to come back. Like, you might be on to the next major project and they lost that opportunity. But it's way better than the stress you get from trying to force somebody to do something they don't want to do, or something that they don't necessarily believe, even though you're the expert, or you may know what you're talking about. You gotta let people kind of deal with it sometimes. So I'm with you
100%. And so, to give leeway or a segue for, you know, because we don't gatekeep, what if somebody wanted to start an event, what would be 3 key pieces of advice that you would give to somebody that is going into the event world?
Okay. Generally, going to the event space, 3 key pieces that I feel like if you have them, it's very hard to fail in regards to building a particular event, is identifying your niche, right? That's one. So game one is identifying your niche. What does that mean? It's not necessarily about being original. Obviously, everything under the sun has been done, right? We get that. There is people that make original events, but sometimes you're not going to come up with something brand new that's never been done. Sometimes it's just got to be your flavor, right? So you got to make a decision. So an example, and I'll be transparent about that. An example of something that would be good is if you're in a particular market that, I don't know, let's say they lack a live music experience, right? And you have connections to performers or people that can do live music, right? Creating or curating some kind of experience that allows the people who don't have that or access to that is a great first step. It's not the only step, but it's a great first step. Another piece of advice: be willing to not profit from your business for the first year and a half to 2 years. Like, literally, be willing. If you want to win, you got to understand that you might have to take a L for a while. It's not going to just be a phenomenon. Sometimes it will be, but even if it is, you better save that money, because that's the other side. You haven't dealt with the adversity yet. It's almost better to deal with the adversity in the front end, because when you finally do hit a wave, you're going to be that much more polished. So understand that investing in your event is more important than profiting in the earlier stages. So you got to look at it. Maybe you don't have it. Okay, if you don't have it, I'm not saying not to do events. Partner up with people that do, and all you have to do is paint the vision. And if they see it, now you have partners with you that are going to invest with you. You got to get in where you fit. If you ain't got it, they might have to make more money. It is what it is. It depends on how much you really believe in that. And the third thing I would say is, about events is that you need to put the customer, you need to put the people that are supporting you above yourself. You have to constantly think about, how can I provide these people who are leaving their homes, spending money at my establishment, how can I provide them the best experience I can? And understand that every time you hire somebody, you're hiring a representative now for your business. They can affect your reputation. They can affect, yes, you can come in and do damage control, but the truth is, like, you need to think about how you talk to people, how you serve people. What are you serving these people? Like, these are things that matter, because you yourself as a consumer, when you're out there, you can always remember the experiences that are memorable. Like, you can always remember when people go out of their way to give you good customer service. Your business and your event is going to be the same way. Now, so if you have a niche market, you have a niche thing that you're doing that works, that's usually a big leg up. If you have, if you're constantly worried about how much money you're going to make each event, that means you're going to be sweating. If you have partners, it's going to make them sweat. It's going to make, before you know it, the band's going to break up. And then beyond that, you got to always think about the customers, man. If you're not thinking about these customers in a way where it sounds cliche, but it's deeper than that. Like, it's really, you have to care. If you don't care, then don't do events. You're not going to win. The person who cares is going to beat you, because everyone who goes to their thing is going to remember them and want to come back. But when they come to yours, they're going to say, yo, I hate it there. They treat me like a number. I'm a nobody here. I don't want to go there. And so that's a secret. And the reason you can't, and I hate to be messed up about this, it's not like I'm trying to take it back, but hear me out. The reason why that's not really game, though, is because, especially that last part, you can't fake that. It's got to be who you are. If you somebody that don't give a shit about other people, bruh, best of luck. You could do events. Just don't do them out here, because my team's gonna eat you alive. The people I know around me gonna eat you alive. We care about people. Like, we build relationships, and we don't only build one-sided relationships. There's people that can do nothing for me and can never do anything for me their entire life. They'll never amount to anything to do anything for me. And I love them, and I treat them with nothing but respect. And when they come to my brunch or they come to anything that I do, they feel like a king or a queen. Why? Because, I don't need them to do nothing for me. They're already here. They're already doing something for me. They taking time out of their life to come here. If you ain't on that, man, you don't stand a chance, bro. I'm telling you, you can't beat it. You can't beat that. It's free. It's endless. I have an endless supply of giving a fuck. I have an endless supply of that. I'll never run out. I'm rich in giving a fuck. Rich.
Love that.
You feel me? And once you have that, it's kind of like, yo, what are you going to do about it? Like, so if you don't, I tell people all the time, man, get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I know people that are selfish people that have extremely successful businesses, extremely successful events. Absolutely. Vanity based, but extremely successful. I'm telling you right now, the soul behind what I do and the soul behind the events and like the people that are around me, how it's contagious. I would be surprised if BB Sundays wasn't here 10 years from now. I'd be surprised, bro. Because eventually it's gonna be autopilot. It's just gonna be what it is. It's gonna be a staple. And it's hard because I'm only at year 7. But I don't see an end in sight, bro. I really don't.
And don't put it in the air. It's gonna be a chain. It's leaving Miami by the end of this year.
We want to do that.
You're gonna do that.
We want to do that.
You're gonna do that.
All right.
By the end of this year, you're gonna have a second BB Sundays. We said it here first.
All right. I'm with that. We've been looking for venues and looking for that opportunity as well. We just gotta make it work. We gotta put lightning in a bottle. But I'm with you, man. I like talking about these types of things too because a lot of times people don't understand there's a science to it. And you obviously know that there's a science to it. You obviously teach courses on how to really scale your businesses up. And a lot of people everybody's doing that. Hey, all right, cool. I'm glad you're doing it too. Because you're going to speak a language that is going to resonate with particular people. People that may never have learned this or may not have that person, that's going to put them on the way they want, And for me, when I talk about it, the perspective I can give you is that like, I'll be better tomorrow than I was yesterday.
Always.
So like, if you just keep checking in on me, I'll always have something more to give you. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm constantly building upon it. Like you said, you read. Good, I read too. Not only do I read though, but like in cinematography and stuff, like I watch the greats and I watch the not so greats. Why? Because I'm learning different shots, shot types, different methods, different methods of storytelling, and so on and so forth. I count cuts. Like people don't understand, like when you go to school for certain things, there's stuff that's going to stick with you forever. When I went in my first broadcasting class in college and stuff like that, they made us watch Indiana Jones, and we had to count the cuts during the particular first 12 minutes of the movie. First 12 minutes of the movie had over, I believe, 397 cuts. That means they changed the camera that many times in only 12 minutes. Do you understand how that changed the way I watch television? Like that changed the way I watch movies. I never noticed that. I just would watch like dumbfounded, not paying attention to stuff like that. Now I see it and it changes. Damn, that it's not that it makes it more difficult. It's like now I understand like, wow, like all them angles mattered. All that stuff really did matter. They used all of it. They did this, they did that. She answered, this person answered, that person answered. They showed this, they showed that. Man, it started to change the way I shot. Shot better. So, I mean, you got to move that way. You just got to move that way. I don't know. I think a lot of us kind of take it for granted in regards to the fact that we do have the opportunity to kind of really communicate with thousands, millions of people every day. And really, when you do, you get a chance to connect with more people and people will kind of, you'll attract different people, and we hide it, like we cuff the game, thinking like, well, we don't want to let our competitors know what we're doing. You're right to some degree. It's not a false statement, but it's almost kind of like keep grinding on you. Where competition, like it matter, like it's like me thinking there's a certain level of practicing that I can somehow do that eventually, like I could just go step to LeBron and I could just, I could, you feel me? Like, there's nothing that I could, like LeBron could show me everything he's ever done in basketball and said, copy this. And I won't be able to do it, bro. And it's not, I know millions of people that won't be able to do it. You understand? There might be somebody like KD might be able to do it, right? Great. So out of billions of people on this planet, there's one or two other people that might be able to do something that. So that's what I'm saying. Is like that's kind of you with your game. Like you're right. There's somebody that might hear what you say and might be able to do what you do better than you. That's right. It's true. But they're not you, fam. They're not you. They don't have that relationship with the people that rock with you. They don't, they're not you. So you cuffing, unless you just trying to sell it, which is okay. You can do that too. I respect that. I do respect that. Outside of that, I don't see the point. Because it's supposed to be each one teach one, especially in our community. And no disrespect, they teach each other.
They do.
Everything from like childhood. They're constantly showing their kids stuff. They're showing neighbors' kids. They're showing such and such kids. They have camps. They have sleepovers. They stay teaching each other. We need to be on that.
Of course.
Instead of trying to compete with one another, we need to be putting each other on game. Not everybody's receptive to it. Not everybody's going to understand. Some people going to be like, I ain't with all that. Great. But you might also change somebody's life just by opening your mouth.
You say the black dollar leaves our community in 6 minutes.
Jesus Christ. That's how fast now?
6 minutes. All it takes. And so, hey, listen. Just having this conversation, I feel like we could just continue to go on and on and on. And so please tell the people where they can find you on social media.
Not a problem, man. Yeah. So my believe it or not, my main page that I use now is Kodak Jacq. It's a KODAK JACQ _. And that's my photography page. But if you want to see a little bit about my work and what I do outside of photography with my businesses and my events, you go to BB _ Sundays or the Big Three Alliance, the Big Three Alliance, all spelled out. That's on Instagram, many other platforms as well. Kodak Jacq is the same thing as on Twitter, Facebook. You can find us there. BB Sundays is also on Facebook and many other platforms. And you'll see all kinds of stuff. We had a website. My website is kodakjacq.com. The big3alliance.com is also a website. You can have full bio on me and my organization, my team, my guys, and everything that we do. And literally, we're just here, regular people trying to do extraordinary, amazing things. That's all we are. It's trying to be good, man.
Yeah, I heard the man. As you can tell, he has an attractive mindset. Absolutely. Him, his team, everything, always. They're not even in the event business. They're in the hospitality business because that's exactly what you feel when you go there. You feel comfortable. I can actually say that I've been there more than once, and both times, great times, no issues, no anything. Food out of this world, of course. And so, as we say, we look good, we live good, life is good. Talk to us, we talk back, and we out of here.